Baseball season, here we go. The head coach, Craig Moore, is with us. Coach, you got here in 2013. We're in 2025. You love this program. What's kept you around?
Yeah, just the continuity of the athletic department, the staff, having some success, winning the MAC tournament in 2015, 2017, and just kind of wanting to stay with the process, and felt like this was a perfect place for us, for my family and our two boys, Jackson and Easton, to see them grow up in this community, in Athens, and so I'm fortunate to be the head coach here. And I'm looking forward to being the head coach for many more years.
Well, here we go. The 2025 season is upon us. When you think about what will be this season, fans, what they should know, what's the number one thing that stands out about this team heading into the season?
We're determined this year. We've missed out on the postseason the last 2 years, not by much, but this group's determined to win more. They're determined to get back to Avon. Kind of, just prove to our peers in the conference and to other people in the region that, Ohio baseball is somebody that needs to be reckoned with.
When you think about what happened and what is happening during the preseason right now, we got a lot of days ahead still. What are some things that you're noticing about this group during preseason practices?
Well, the effort, the energy, the enthusiasm, it's all there. It's been there every single workout, whether it be a weight workout, whether it be a conditioning workout, whether it just be obviously a practice setting, The one thing that, obviously, we need to continue to work on is the execution part of the game. That's everybody this time of the year. You still got some kinks to work out, to figure out. You still got some lineup combinations that you're working with. We're still getting some guys back from some rehab stints and things like that. So health is very important, as you know, in any sport. And so, I've seen that energy, that enthusiasm, the effort day in and day out, and that's half the battle right there. If you can bring that type of excitement on a day-to-day, have the attitude of, I get to go to practice, not I have to go to practice, that can carry your team a long ways. Yeah,
you brought up the lineup. We'll start right there with the offense from 1 to 9 as you sort of kind of figure out what the lineup will be during the preseason. What is one thing that stands out about the offense heading into the season?
The one thing is we're going to have to be a little bit more dynamic than maybe what we've been in the past.
Okay.
We're not going to, we're going to have to be able to play the small game a little bit. We're going to have to be able to run the bases. I brought JT Heenan, our new hitting coach, in, who's been very successful with running an offense in terms of creating more stolen base opportunities. Nice. And things like that. So I think you're going to see an offense that's going to have to do a lot of different things. We just cannot sit back and just rely on doubles and home runs and things like that. Yep. And I think that makes it more exciting, in terms of for fans watching the game, for players to stay engaged in the game when they see an offense that is very, very dynamic and very, putting pressure on the defense and trying to, get them on skates a little bit by getting them out of position and stuff. So, and our guys have been working really hard execution-wise. They've been working in the cages, and we've seen it the last couple scrimmages, where they have come out and they have executed the game the way that we feel like we need to execute in order to score runs.
Yeah, and you have Nick Dolan back. You've got J.R. Nelson, Paulie Mancino, some other returners as well. Any new faces really stand out in the preseason to know about? Yeah,
I would say from an offensive standpoint, Matt Einich, an infielder, freshman from the Detroit area, is a young player that I think he's going to have an opportunity to contribute to the group. Caleb Carl, obviously he had some playing time there at the end and of the season last year and did well. He's had a pretty good preseason. Trey Cassidy, who was a freshman catcher last year, is a sophomore now. He's shown well both behind the plate and in other positions. We've played him multiple positions, but his bat's been pretty good. And then Jackson Cothran, our other catcher from last year, he's been off to a pretty good start with our scrimmages with the offensive side of things.
Nice. Defensively, I brought up J.R. Nelson as part of the offense, but he's an elite defensive infielder, all MAC defensive team last season. What are things that you feel like make him such a special infielder, specifically at the shortstop position?
Well, one, he wants to be perfect. He wants to do everything right, you know. And JR's got a lot of just baseball skill set, you know, athleticism, talent. You know, he can do a lot of different things from that infield position that I like to see guys do in terms of, you know, the ball in the sixth hole, he has the arm strength to go climb the ladder and throw the ball across the diamond. On that ball that's going to his glove side, or he's coming in to make a play, a slow roller type play, he's got the ability to drop his arm slot. And that's what good infielders need to be able to do. They need to be able to throw the ball from different angles because there's different plays that they field from, you know. And so, and he's a competitor. He's an ultra competitor, just like Blake Gasky. They're ultra competitors, and sometimes, you know, you got to reel them in a little bit, you know. But I'd rather have guys play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder than not at all.
Yeah. We love that energy. We love the energy. Blake Gasky brings a lot of the energy. He's part of the pitching staff, a veteran guy, junior college transfer, now in his second season. How about the pitching staff? What do you like most about what you're seeing from the pitching staff?
Well, I think first off, I mentioned it earlier, we're starting to get healthy. You know, at the end of the fall, last fall, we were down about 9 guys. You know, in terms of just really having to shut them down, try to get them on some rehab plans. Paige, our athletic trainer, has done an outstanding job with these guys to get them back. You know, the guys have been committed to those plans, and they did what they were supposed to do over the winter time, the winter break. But that's one thing. But that's the position that we have the most experience at when you actually look at our team on paper. You know, with Blake Gasky, you know, having 14 starts last year, Dylan Masters being in the program for 3 years. You know, Jacob Tate being in the program for 4 years, you know, and coming back from his situation from last year, you know, and so we need, and then, you know, the senior class with Hudson Bonkel and Tyler Peck, you know, that group right there, Adam Bury, that group right there has a lot of innings under their belts, and we need them to step up, you know, in a big way this spring, you know, to kind of, you know, put us in positions to do very well, you know, both pitching wise and defensively. If you ask our guys, you know, the two things that I emphasize the most is pitching and defense. I think if you can do those two things, you're going to put yourself in position to win games late from your offense, you know, and pitching and defense travels. No matter what the weather is, no matter what the conditions are, you know, if you can pitch and defend, you're going to have a chance.
Speaking of traveling, you all are hitting the road to start the season at Wofford, a couple of other road series as well to open up the season. What is your biggest takeaway from the schedule that's outlined for 2025?
It's another competitive schedule, you know, and we do that for a reason. You know, we do that to get us ready for our conference play. So our non-con schedule, you know, Wofford, 42 wins last year. I think they had 39 the year before. Regional team last year. They're going to be a very competitive group. You know, they're going to be good. And then West Georgia the next weekend, they're transitioning from Division II into Division I. They're playing in the ASUN conference, a very good baseball conference, and so they'll be a challenge. And then we got Butler coming out of the Big East, you know, to open up our home series and things like that. What I'm excited most about our schedule is we've got 25 home games this year. That's the most that we have ever had since I've been here. You know, typically we get about 18 to 19 home games. So those extra 6 home games this year, you know, we got VMI coming in for a non-con during our bye week. It gives us opportunities, obviously, to get more people out to the Ren.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, obviously you feel better playing at home than you do on the road. So very excited about the ability to get those teams there. We got a couple Power 4 schools in West Virginia and Ohio State on the schedule. So it's going to be a fun schedule. It's going to be a tough schedule, and the conference is probably going to be as good as I've seen it, you know, in the 13 years that I've been here.
Well, you heard Coach. You need to come out to Bob Wren Stadium and cheer on the Bobcats with all these home games. Lastly, Coach, you know how to win, obviously, here at Ohio University. This program has won a couple of MAC championships since you've been here. Do you see some early signs of just the type of student athlete that, you know, could be a part of a championship squad with this team?
Yeah, we always talk about, there's a blueprint. You got to have a blueprint, in anything. And the blueprint here at Ohio University is not the same at Ohio State. It's not the same at other schools in the conference even. And so we work to find the players that are going to fit our system. What we like to do, not just on the field, but even off the field, and how they're going to carry it and conduct themselves.
Mental side of the game.
Mental side of the game, which is something that our assistant coaches, Coach McWilliams and Coach Heenan, have done a really good job with our guys in terms of incorporating that as part of their workout, part of their program, but part of the culture, And so, I tell our players that, the 2 championship teams that we've had here, the 5 that I've been a part of total as a player and a coach, the one common denominator has always been everybody has stuck together through good and bad, and you got to get everybody on the same page, and you've got to stay, positive even when things aren't going your way, because things aren't always going to go our way, know. So we've been discussing that over the course of the last couple of weeks during the preseason to really get guys to buy in and to understand, to commit to what we're doing here, because we have, as you mentioned, we have won championships here in the past, and I believe that we have a position this year to where we can definitely go and compete.
Awesome. One step at a time. The Bobcats open the season at Wofford. It'll be here before we know it. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. 2025. Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it, Sam. Thank you.
All right, go Bobcats.